What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, July 31st. The 49ers had their seventh practice of this year's training camp, and I was there to take in all the action. So let's get into a rapid recap. First of all, it was a weird energy in practice, especially early on, especially because of the tweet that came out from Pretty Ricky, noted NFL insider. Though he's not affiliated with any networks, he's just a mysterious account that has happened to get a lot of things right so far. And his report was that there was going to be a big trade bomb coming. And so a lot of 49er fans assumed right off the bat that has to be about Brandon Aiyuk. And so I don't know if that was just me projecting the weirdness coming from that, because I kind of had a feeling it might have to do with Brandon Aiyuk. But altogether, it was very low energy at practice today. Weird vibes, especially in the first half. It was very ominous, I would say. Just uncomfortable. I don't know how else to explain it. Brandon Aiyuk, however, did appear onto the field ahead of team periods, where he dapped up John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Shout out to Brad for getting that footage, and he shared that on the SF Niners. So check that out if you haven't seen it. But that's definitely some mixed messages there, or maybe just a sigh of relief for a lot of us that seems to be something positive there. You don't just dap up someone you're angry at. But anyway, others that didn't participate in 49ers practice today was left guard Aaron Banks, wide receiver Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray. Danny Gray, I did see in the beginning of practice, it looked like he was working through something with a trainer. He had his uniform on, no pads, but he looked like he was trying to test something out with his leg. And ultimately, he did not join the team for practice, so we'll wait on updates there. Jacob Cowing, Tay Martin dealing with her hamstring injury still. Linebacker Curtis Robinson did not practice. Tight end Logan Thomas. Isaac Garendo, of course, still out with his hamstring injury. Offensive lineman John Feliciano. Offensive lineman Jarrett Kingston. Offensive lineman Spencer Burford. And defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. So all those guys did not practice today. And so, yeah, energy level was low, and 49ers thin at a number of positions today. Speaking of positions, let's go ahead and go through all of them, starting with quarterback. You will be happy to know that there weren't any interceptions thrown by any of the quarterbacks today after a interception-filled last 2 days of practice. Purdy had a better outing, especially in red zone, where he threw 3 touchdowns today. The first one was to Debo on a slant. Second one was to Ricky Pearsall on the left side of the end zone. I believe that one was against Isaac Yiadom, if I'm not mistaken. And then the third touchdown in red zone period was to George Kittle against what I thought looked like a blitz from the defense, but Purdy recognized the pressure and got the ball out quick. Brennan Allen also had a touchdown in red zone period today. That was to Ronnie Bell. And I'll talk more about Ronnie Bell here in a bit because I thought he did have a good day. Let's jump over to the running backs. So all the running backs continue to look strong in one-on-ones. And they have no problem, getting open against these linebackers. They're pretty nifty and creative in gaining some separation against them, actually. And they're all really good with their hands, paws. They're all good at catching the football in these drills. So that's been a plus for me to see. Elijah Mitchell even had a pass pro rep one-on-one against D. Winters that he did an excellent job in. I did see a couple of the running backs getting worked into new kick return drills. So Jordan Mason, Patrick Taylor Jr., Cody Schrader, some of the guys that I saw. And I believe Kyle Juszczyk even got some work in as well. So that was pretty interesting to see who the 49ers are looking at there. Then wide receiver Juwan Jennings, as I mentioned, was not out there today. I did see Danny Gray at the start of practice, as I mentioned, but he ended up not practicing. And let's get to Ronnie Bell, who had a number of opportunities today, just given that some of the other guys did not practice. if you guys recall, I spoke about Bell yesterday, and I said that he wasn't standing out to me at all. He wasn't getting a lot of targets in team period. I just hadn't really noticed him. But today, I have to say, he did look great. He had a couple of plays in team, including a nice catch against Mooney Ward. One he had to go up and get, and he did a nice job using his body to shield Ward away from being able to make a play on that one. He had another catch against Samuel Womack, and then he also had a touchdown in red zone period from Brandon Allen. Just a lot of action for him today, so I think that was encouraging to see. I think he needed to have a strong showing in practice and, build a little of that confidence. Now let's see if he can stack his days, and if the next time we see him, he can build on this performance. Ricky Pearsall, of course, did get a lot of involvement today as well. He caught a touchdown from Purdy during red zone period. He had another catch early in the practice from Brandon Allen where D. Winters was in position to make a play on the ball. He got a hand in there. The ball ended up getting bobbled out of Pearsall's hands, but Pearsall was able to bring it in. In the previous practice yesterday, Pearsall had a play that was kind of similar to that one where he kind of lost the grip on it, as he was coming down from catching the pass, and he lost it. And he looked really frustrated at that time. This time, he makes it right, and he reels it in. As far as the tight ends go, George Kittle got a couple of passes, including the touchdown from Brock Purdy during red zone period that I had mentioned. I'm more concerned about the competition after Kittle. There wasn't any Logan Thomas in practice today. And after that, just kind of a free-for-all. But I do think that Eric Saubert kind of has the edge for, the next spot up. Assuming that Logan Thomas is TE2, Eric Saubert would be my 3, followed by Jake Tungus. I think that's how you say his name. But Cam Latu, Brandon Willis, I think at different times in practice continue to struggle. Latu struggled today. He was targeted a couple of times, but just to me, he's just sort of lacking the aggressiveness to battle for the ball. These DBs right now are doing a great job at fighting for the ball or just fighting to get a hand on it, all those things. And so I feel like Latu needs to match that energy if he expects to catch some of these balls. And so as of right now, I'm also seeing the same thing with Brandon Willis, that at times, like if it's contested catches, it's less likely that they're going to come away with it in that case. So, we'll continue to see how those guys do, but so far it's been less than inspiring. As far as the offensive line, no Aaron Banks today, so Nick Zakelj got some looks at left guard with the first team. Ben Bartch also got some action at left guard with the ones. They both rotated. It was just kind of funny because Ben Bartch, his first rep with the ones, he got beat as fast as an offensive lineman could get beat. I mean, and I think it was Jordan Elliott who beat him on that one. So, yeah, that was a tough go for Ben Bartch. But Nick Zakelj, for the most part, I thought did okay. During one-on-ones, I saw a nice pancake from Isaac Alcaron. He is the 49ers International Pathway Player this year. He pancaked defensive lineman Sam Okoyenonu. So that was a nice play for him there. The last 2 practices, I must say, Jalen Moore has looked better to me. And that's even with him going up against Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd. So that's good for him. I'm not saying he's winning every rep against either one of those guys, but I'm just saying he's mixing in some nice reps and some nice turns against those guys. So that's the kind of improvement that we want to see, and we want to see him kind of build off of that. As far as the defensive line, no Javon Hargrave today. I did see Evan Anderson, Shaquille Brown. They did have some nice wins in one-on-ones today that I saw. Leonard Floyd, Jordan Elliott, Yitzer Gross-Matos had a would-be sack today that I saw. That's not to say that there weren't others, but those are the ones that I noticed. As far as the linebackers go, Fred Warner had a number of nice plays today in run defense in particular. He had a tackle for loss on Christian McCaffrey, and that was the first play of team periods today. So he started the defense off right with that one. And D. Winters also had a tackle for loss. I think overall he had a nice day. He's really rounding out pretty nicely. And Jalen Graham also looking more comfortable out there. So I'm excited about these young linebackers and what they have in store for us this year. The next practice, I want to pay more attention to the linebackers. I've been kind of dabbling between receivers and the trenches, but I haven't paid too much attention on the linebackers unless I see them make a play in team periods. But yeah, I need to pay more attention to them so I could do some better reports on them. DBs though, they are hard to not notice. For one, rookie corner Renardo Green was back at practice today after missing yesterday. And today we saw a bunch of coverage sacks in team period, largely in part because of the secondary. They've just been good. They've been sticky. Their coverage has been great. A UDFA, a lesser-known name that I continue to see make plays, Jalen Mahoney, he's quietly putting together a nice camp, I think. And I get it, he's an undrafted free agent. I'm not saying he's pushing for a starting role as a safety, but I think at the very least he's making a nice case for himself for the practice squad. Today he had some nice reps in one-on-ones, a pass breakup in red zone period where he got his hands up to disrupt the pass intended for Cam Latu. So that was just one of the examples where I'm like, Cam, you might have been able to get away with that one if you had just kind of fought for the ball a little bit better, worked through contact a little bit better. Jalen Mahoney got the best of him on that one. Like I said, Mahoney has kind of been doing this all camp very quietly. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about him, honestly. But Darrell Luter Jr. had a nice play to end practice in red zone period against Debo. I mean, that was when Joshua Dobbs was the quarterback. And honestly, it would have probably been thrown out of bounds, but those two, Luter and Debo, had a really nice battle on that one going. And Luter, brought a lot of contact. I don't know if he committed DPI or anything. It kind of looked like Debo was a little upset that he didn't get called for anything afterwards, but it was kind of cool to see, both of those guys go at it. And Luter, at any case, did keep that play from being held on to by Debo, who looked like he originally had it in red zone period. So he's looking good as well. Jake Moody, still perfect again today. Like I said, he's only missed one kick in all of camp, so good for him. The 49ers are off tomorrow. They return to practice on Friday. That session will be open to fans. I don't know if I'll be going to that practice quite yet, but if I am there, you'll see a recap. If not, then it means I wasn't there. But for now, everyone, have a good one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. Peace.